Dragon Press presents an audiobook production. Sparks Fly, a Light in the Dark series by Kadian Thomas. Part 1, Chapter 1, Kalina. I am concealed in the pitch-black darkness of the street. There are no streetlights, no houses with people getting ready for bed. There is only me and the sky above illuminated with stars. They seem so close and there are so many that it's unsettling. My science teacher, Miss Grayson, once said that the exact size of the universe is unknown, unimaginable. Thinking about the universe freaks me out every time. I'm not sure when it all started or why. The anxiety I get. I think back when it affected me the most. When my neighbor died, Miss Jen. I was 10. I wasn't close to her. The world grows around me, making me feel small and alone. She wasn't. I've known people that died before. I just never thought about it. When I did, I imagined all the people I loved leaving me one day. Me leaving them, everyone forgetting me. Then I saw how small I was and how big everything else was compared to me. I was never the same after that. Maybe Miss Jen was more important to me than I thought. I couldn't eat, had trouble sleeping. I don't know why, but I think the death of Miss Jen broke me. My mother said I was grieving and that one day I would get over it. I never really got over it, but I coped. I pretended I was fine. I try not to think too much about things. Anything that reminds me of the nothingness, the dark, the stars, the universe. I listen to the soft slap of my flats against the tarred street. Crickets croon, then fall silent. I had a test earlier today. It's supposed to give me guidance on what I should do with the rest of my life. The results said I could become a doctor or a teacher maybe, but I'm not sure what I want to be. Some kids my age already have their entire lives figured out, not me. Nothing feels right yet. I overthink things too much, and I try not to, but I can't help it sometimes. I clutch my bag to my side, a messenger bag my sister Rice gave me for Christmas. My fingers stroke against the soft material, and I block thoughts of the universe or how small and alone I am right now from my mind. I've walked here once or twice before, when I'd stayed back at school too late and I'd missed the last bus. Today I was at the library nearby my school. This road leads from the town where everything is, schools, stores, parks, to where I live. Along the way, there is nothing. A waft of wind blows, sending a thrilling chill up my spine, making me aware of a sharp nip in the air. Before I see it or hear it, I know it, sense it. I am not alone. The soft hum of a car's engine. I see no light, but I can hear it as it draws closer and closer. Then, akin to a spark being thrown in running oil, heat covers me. My shadow appears, growing long and loopy. The light of the car glare. I turn to look as it comes around the bend. Without stopping, I close my eyes so my vision can adjust to the sudden brightness. Kalina! Voices shout behind me. I don't look. I don't respond. I know they are no friends of mine. The car passes me, then stops ahead. They laugh and jeer. I don't know how many there are, maybe 4 or 5. Their voices jumbled together sound like a mob of people. Come, Callie, 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 they say in unison, as if calling a cat or dog. More laughter. I'm not too far from home now, but I'm not close enough. I shouldn't have missed the last bus, shouldn't have gone to the library to study. My mother's words sound in my head. This isn't a good night for a stroll. The last time I came home this way, she made a big fuss. She didn't want me to walk here on my own, but then she didn't want me to do a lot of things. Somehow, just having control over something makes me feel free, strong, and I'm never strong. I prepare to pass the car. I can't see inside it, so I try not to look. Instead, I look at the dense forest on both sides of me, then ahead. The road is empty except for the car. The trees tower high, and they grow in dense clusters only a mere 5 feet from the edge of the street where I walk. Beyond the trees, into the woods, it's extremely dark. I look for a trail. I've seen one here before, though I'm not sure if I've already passed it. I gulp, swallowing hard against the lump that is forming in my throat. It takes 45 minutes to walk from the library to my home. I estimate I have another 30 minutes to go. A loud voice cackles above the rest. A deep belly full of laughter echoes. I recognize the laugh and the voice of one of them, profound and raspy. I've heard him before, the one that sounds older than he is, the one who must get everything he wants, and now he has his sights set on me. Andreas, the captain of the charity club. He's a junior like me, and I think he lives to make my life miserable. No doubt, he is with his usual clique, the popular kids. I'm not one of them. I pass the car and I focus on my breathing and not on the pain in my chest. My eyes begin to water. Maybe I'm overthinking things again, but my mind runs with all the possible scenarios in my head and comes out with the worst ones. As they slowly cruise along behind me, I know they're up to no good. What do they want this time? To push me around? Grab at me when it's not welcome? Banter with each other about how weird I am or how I look? The car pulls up next to me. Don't look. I look over. 5 of them. Do you want to ride home, Callie? Asks Andreas. I ignore them, walking as fast as I can. My breath quickens with each step as I fight against the urge to make eye contact. I'm afraid that if I do, they'll pounce on me like a pack of wild animals. With my head down, I hurry on. This isn't school. I'm not surrounded by scores of onlookers. My surroundings become very clear, my senses heightened. I'm aware of the vast expanse of foliage before me, the lack of houses, the lack of people, the lack of life altogether, no one to help. Suddenly, I'm aware of everything, and I'm mindful of what the car's inhabitants' true intentions might be. They don't care to drive me home. There is certainly no room left in the vehicle with 5 of them. Tonight is different. They seem more riled up than usual. What is it? Drugs? Maybe alcohol? I should have called my mother. She's still up even now. I know she is waiting for me. She won't sleep until I get home, and she won't call me. Not since we had that argument about her checking upon me too often. Then I check my pockets for my phone. My excitement is short-lived, as there's nothing in either pockets. Opening the flap on my bag, I push my hand against the opening and realize with dismay my mother can't call me even if she wants to. I forgot my phone. I quickly move the bag strap from my shoulder to over my neck, crossing my upper body and giving me a better grip. My heart is hammering in my chest now. I'm trying my best not to curl up in a ball and cry. My eyes look for a hiding place. My mind searches for a way to make them leave me alone. I have none. The car stops next to me, and Andreas comes out and jogs to my side. I don't stop walking. He grabs my arm. Hey, princess. My body reels back from him, and I pull my hand away from his grasp. He comes closer, and I push him away, a weak shove, my hands shaking. The red shirt he wears clings to his chest. The smell of beer and cigarettes lingers on his breath. He laughs. "I want to talk," he says, pacing next to me. I don't answer. "I like your hair. So thick and curly. You know, you could be my caramel princess." Andreas laughs again, mirth and mischief in every chuckle. He glances behind me. The car pulls up next to us again and matches our speed. "We want to play, Callie. Don't you want to play, Callie?" Another guy calls out in a creepy, sinister voice from inside the car. They all laugh again. "No! Leave me alone!" I say between gritted teeth and instantly regretted it. What have I done? To them, defiance is an invitation. It's a welcome to do more, to push harder. I might as well have surrendered. Holding my breath, my body feels numb as I walk. My steps turn into a trot, anything that will propel me faster, get me further from this place. Andreas walks over to the car and whispers something. Then he's back at my side again. He says nothing to me, just grins and trots next to me. The car stops, and more of them slither out the passenger doors. My heart pounds and my hands shake, sending tremors up my shoulder and down my sides. My body burns from the speed walking, especially my hands and legs, although I can feel it everywhere. The growing tiredness, the sharp pinch of lactic acid curdling in my calves. Footsteps echoes behind me, sounding like stones being thrown against a zinc fence, loud and frightening. "Get her!" Hands suddenly grab at my wrist, then my waist. I don't think. I pull myself out of their grasp and scamper away, running as fast as I can. They chase after me. I race towards the forest and dash into it, to lose them. My head is light enough it might float away. Sweat runs down my face and neck, and I can feel it trickle down my scalp, but I feel cold. It takes a second before I realize it might not have been the best idea running into the forest at night, alone, with a pack of 5 boys chasing me. This will not end well. I don't have time to think, though, and no other choice. Besides, I can't outrun them on foot, not when they have their car. They will overpower me and throw me inside. I crash past low branches. No, this is right. This is my best option. The forest I might navigate. I can lose them. "Help!" I scream. "Somebody please help me!" No, I shouldn't scream. The thought comes a second after my mouth opens. I know there'll be no one around here, not for miles. Screaming will just give away my position. I sprint off, running frantically. Footsteps hammer behind me. I do not let up. I'm pushed hard against the side of a tree. Andreas takes me by surprise. I scream. "Guys, I've got her!" he shouts. I struggle with him, my heart pounding. His left hand presses against my chest, fingers grope my thighs. I slap them away. I kick him in the groin, and he staggers back. Backing away, as I turn to run, I whimper, "Leave me alone." He doesn't. Andreas catches me before I'm a foot away and holds me from the back around my sides. I twist erratically and we fall. His grip loosens from the shock of the fall. I push myself up and run again. I'm getting away. The wind whisks my hair back. My eyes strain, but all I see is a blur of blackness. I force them to focus, to see through the tears, through the darkness. My bag is hard to manage. My dress clings to my body, and the hem wraps around my ankles, but I do not let it hinder me. I leap over roots that come from nowhere. Branches spring out almost magically, missing my head with inches to spare. I run, moving into the forest groove, trying to find the best path, one that will not slow me down. Weaving between trees, I gaze over my shoulder. Shadows rise around me, long, loopy, and menacing. The boys are still chasing. My bag weighs heavy on my side and hits against me. I think of leaving it behind, but I need it, so I drag it along with my collapsing body. My breath comes faster and shorter. Trees grab at me, their branches like fingers gripping, tugging at my dress that hangs around my ankles, catching and ripping it. I do not stop. I can still hear the boys coming for me. Like magic, I see a bright blue light ahead of me in a clearing. I can see that the earth appears scorched where grass and flowers should be. A light suddenly shoots up from the ground like lightning and then disappears. I look to the sky, still running toward the spot. I feel my skin wet with sweat. It's not raining. It isn't impossible for lightning to strike here without rain. Slowly, slightly, I realize I've heard talk about this place. Many stories of lightning striking for no reason. Not recently, but many years ago, people reported seeing lightning strikes on perfectly normal days. The woods of the Maroon Bells. Perhaps that's why my mother doesn't want me walking around here. Well, that and the fact that someone could kidnap me. I glanced behind to see if the boys are still there. I must have lost them because they're nowhere in sight. My throat burns with a fire that runs deep within my chest. I stop to catch my breath now that my pursuers are not close enough to catch me. I'm not sure if I should turn back. Is it safe? Afraid that I might run into them again, I sit at the base of a tree panting. My hands are shaking, my legs trembling, all of my body quakes. There is a sound, snap, and I cling to the base of the tree. My fingers digging into it, hoping that the night will conceal me. I close my eyes and wait. I listen for the footsteps, waiting for the moment when my location will be exposed. Nothing. No one comes. I breathe a weary sigh of relief, still shaking. A squirrel runs from its hiding place in the trees and I flinch. I know I should continue, just to be on the safe side. It's not good to sit and wait. I rub my hands into the soft dirt and let it gather between the tips of my fingers. Another deep breath. I am not afraid, I tell myself. I am not scared. People say you should tell yourself what you want to believe, and you will believe it. But that doesn't work, because I'm scared out of my mind. The more I tell myself I'm not afraid, the more aware I am of how scared I am. As I begin to walk again, there are oohs and ahs. Something is calling me to it. A gust of wind surrounds me, pushing me forward, even when I feel I can't go a step further. Birds chirp and flap away as I pass. Woodpeckers pick at tree trunks like drummers, howl hoots across the way like they're playing the trumpets. The forest turns eerie, and now I should be scared, except now I'm not. A strange sense of calm comes over me. The sounds make me feel safe, like I'm not alone, like I'm with a group of friends. Unlike the distant quietness of the stars, the animals are more tangible, as though they know I'm here and they are talking to me, singing. It is as though I am in a concert and I'm witnessing a tantalizing choir featuring all of nature. I've never seen the forest come alive like this at night. The trees sway in the wind, dancing to the music. Flowers move like ballerinas, and I move with them, as light as air. The forest seems to glow with purple, blue, and white light. I look up and feel like I'm surrounded by angels. Moonlight sparkles like fireflies around me. A pause. The birds grow still. The music stops. The trees don't move. Everything quiets once more. I'm conscious again that I'm alone. The forest becomes dark. I'm lost. Lost in the middle of the woods, with no idea of where I'm going. I should turn back and retrace my steps. I hope that, by now, the boys have given up and have gone home. Turning, my eyes scan the ground for my original path, the tracks my feet may have created of broken branches and trampled weeds. I look, but I don't see it. Turning around is simple, should be simple. Even if I can't see the path, just by going in the opposite direction, I should find where I came from. I move. No. I try to run, but I can't. My feet are stuck. No, not stuck. They're being held. Someone is holding me back. My mind goes wild again, trying to make sense of what is happening. I scream and wail, but it's no use. They've caught me. I'm trapped.